My name's Sweeney, and I'm a environment concept artist at Naughty Dog Studios. We generally will just focus on creating kind of the world that the story takes place in, or that the characters exist in. So we'll be given either a prompt or a script to kind of go off, and it's up to us to research locations and set pieces and things that might be cool, and we just kind of explore those early on in the project, and then as things get more kind of solidified towards the end, we kind of focus on fine-tuning those or coming up with the look of that for the final game. I think it's a combination of when I was growing up, my family always encouraged my art. They never, I was lucky to have a family that didn't tell me not to do it, or, they just supported me, which was great. And for games as well, they were supportive of me playing games. I think probably because my family's mostly made up of creative people as well, so. Well, actually, when I was in school, I didn't want to do digital art. I was really into traditional painting and kind of going outside and plein air painting and things like that, which I actually met Eitan and Shadi by doing that, which kind of was my connection to Naughty Dog when I ended up applying. But before then, I would go out when they did their plein air and kind of paint. But I worked traditionally, they worked digitally, and it wasn't until I saw how they kind of were working that it started to click with me. So for the last 6 months of school, I decided to focus on digital art or learning Photoshop. And then over the next couple years, I kind of fell into that. And I'd always loved video games, and I'd always loved art. And I knew that was like an avenue, because I got to take a tour of Sony Santa Monica Studios. Then it was 989 Studios back when I was 12. And I saw a guy with 3 drawing boards and 600 Prismacolor markers. So this was before they were working digitally, at least for concept art. He was doing everything traditionally, and I thought that was really cool. And then I kind of, from that to then seeing how Eitan and Shadi worked digitally, and Eitan started working here as an environment concept artist. And it just kind of clicked, where I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. And Uncharted 1 was one of the most amazing game experiences that I had playing. Played it in one sitting with my friend. We just traded off and just played the whole night. So that's kind of what made me have Naughty Dog as a goal, because I thought the storytelling and the graphics and everything kind of came together in a way that I hadn't seen done in a game, yet. Some of what I think is hard for me is coming up with inspiration. I guess I'll hit walls sometimes, and I'll not know what to paint, or not know kind of what it is that I want to focus on. But I find that by trying to have different avenues to be creative and kind of keep that always going is really important, whether it's just sketching in pencil in my sketchbook, or doing digital work, or sometimes I need to just kind of consume media and watch movies and play games to kind of get inspired, or look at art on ArtStation or things like that. So I think at least currently the most challenging thing is that when we get into full production, a lot of the work that we have to make is on a time frame, or we need to produce things quickly, or I guess under that pressure of deadlines and things like that. And you don't get the chance to be as explorative, or to do as much exploration that you would kind of on your own. It seems to be heading, I think, with more 3D. At least that's what I've kind of observed from ArtStation and my peers and whatnot, is that 3D is becoming a much bigger part of the concept art workflow. I still find a lot of value in just painting things or photo bashing or kind of a combination of all that, but it seems like the kind of work that's not only coming out of the industry, but also what I see a lot of newcomers kind of doing is like more filmic looking stuff, or kind of bridging that gap visually between film and I guess what concept art has been more traditionally in the past. So if I had advice for other artists, I think it would be, one, surround yourself with peers and people that you admire and want to, or that are going to inspire you and kind of push you to create better art. Another thing I think for aspiring artists, and this is something that I kind of dealt with in school, but I had a lot of instructors actually kind of discourage me from, like I said, how I was working or the kind of work I was producing. And looking back on it, I just think that in a lot of ways that was kind of bad advice, because in a lot of times I'll look at work and the stuff that I'm most drawn to is the things that I haven't seen before, or that don't fit necessarily within a specific genre or play to the expectations of what concept art, should be. Like, I don't think there's a limit to art, and I think trying to put a limit on it is just gonna kind of stunt its growth. So I think as an artist, if you're excited about something or inspired by, a way of working or a type of aesthetic, then I think you should go for it. I don't think you should let anyone, tell you not to explore that or do that.